Well, William Stewart here with USA Darts. Alongside me is Mr. Peter Citera, CEO of the Championship Dart Circuit. Thanks for sitting down for a moment ahead of your Continental Cup, Peter.
Hey, thanks for having me, Will. Sitting alongside you virtually, of course. We're certainly separated by many miles, but it's good to see you. It's good to be here.
Well, definitely. Thanks for giving us a moment of your time. Just wanted to kind of highlight and get ready for this Continental Cup with you. October 22nd, Queens Woodside, New York. Looking forward to another good Continental Cup. This will be your seventh now. We've had 6 different winners over our past CDC Continental Cups. Just to name a few: Larry Butler, Gary Broomhead, Gary Mawson, Leonard Gates, Danny Lobby, and Jeff Smith. Some pretty good list of winners there. What do you have to say?
It's a pretty illustrious group, isn't it? Top dart players in the country. Yeah, it's hard to believe. In a sense, it's really hard to believe it's been, that many years. Sometimes we look back and it feels like it's been just a couple of years that go by in a flash. But then you take a step back and you look at how far we've come, and I'm stoked for next weekend. I think it's going to be great.
I think it is as well. I mean, we look at past Continental Cups. The finals have been really great finals. I'd say the whole Continental Cup itself, the averages have grown through the duration of the Continental Cup. I'm looking forward to, after a great year on the CDC Tour, those averages. So far, we've seen a massive improvement in the overall averages. Do you think this could be our best Continental Cup yet?
So the Continental Cup mirrors what we've seen in the quality of play, right? So when we started all the way back in 2015, getting averages into the 80s was a struggle. And now, we just finished our last weekend, our tournament weekend, our last event weekend last month. And we ended up with our average for the actual average for the tournament, not per player, for individual player. The actual average for the tournament was north of 80. So we've seen the competition of the quality of competition has only gone north. The Continental Cup has mirrored that, which you'd expect from the best of the best, right? And that's truly what the Continental Cup is. So can we see the best ever? Sure, absolutely. But it's at some point you get to a point where it's tough to build on the last year in terms of averages, because you start bumping up against difficult to improve. But I would love to see us, get everybody north of 80 to 85, and I think we'll put on some great entertainment.
So we now know that, unfortunately, Danny Baggish and Matt Campbell unfortunately will not be in attendance, as they're going to be doing the PDC circuit overseas. Do you feel like this hurts the legitimacy of the Continental Cup, or what's your thoughts on that?
No, not at all. They're doing what they're supposed to do. In a sense, not only does it not hurt the legitimacy of the Continental Cup, it validates everything we're trying to do. Our goal has always been to create the next generation of PDC professionals from North America. So the fact that they're going and participating in events that they've earned the right to be in, the average person can't go play in those events. So to me, no, it doesn't hurt the legitimacy of the Continental Cup at all. They're being replaced by, 2 guys that are quality players. I mean, Doug Boehm was up in New York in the Madison Square Garden stage, right? Ross Snook isn't exactly a first time dart player. So the quality of play that we have that are replacing those 2 guys, giving them the opportunity to participate in the event is amazing. But Matt and Danny are doing exactly what Matt and Danny need to do. They both need to fight for every dollar they can fight for on that PDC order of merit. That's where they want to be, right? So it doesn't hurt the legitimacy at all, not in my mind.
I would have to agree. Just a little mindset there. I think when you replace a couple players with still individuals that can play 85 to 95, if not higher, I think that is definitely a good deal for the CDC.
If Ross or Doug, I'll tell you, Will, if Ross or Doug finds their groove, I mean, they're both capable of making a deep run or even winning the event. There is nobody in this field that, if they have a good day, can't emerge on top holding the cup.
I like that answer, sir. We will see a unique matchup here. It's going to be the old regime versus the new era, per se. Larry Butler taking on Joey Lenas. 65 versus a fresh 21-year-old. What's your thoughts on that matchup?
Man, Larry Butler's just ageless, isn't he? Just when you think that maybe he's not going to get into the field this year, that maybe it's the year that it's going to be kind of a harder mountain to climb, he comes out and bam, he wins an event, and here he is in yet another Continental Cup. It's going to be a great matchup to watch for two reasons. Number one, they both, I mean, the talent is just amazing in both of them, but the crowd's going to be a factor in that. Joey is a local New York boy, and he's going to have people in the audience. Not that Larry won't, but it's going to be loud in there when Joey's playing, and it'll be interesting to see how Larry responds to that. Either one of them could win the match. I think you kind of got to give an advantage to the seasoned veteran there, just because he's had so many experiences playing under pressure, and he's been on a stage with crowd behind him. But certainly wouldn't be surprised if Joey managed to get that match.
Well, those youth players, they just have no care who they're playing. The name in front of them doesn't matter. They just go up there and take to the board with the best of them. I tell you what.
They do. And then let me also remind people that, Joey gets two matches at least, right? Even if he doesn't beat Larry, he gets back on stage at night in the Evolution Tour final against Caden Anderson. So, he's going to get a couple of experiences up there. In that Evolution final, don't be surprised if those kids throw averages that are higher than some of the other Continental Cup matches. I say kids. I mean, they're just the talent level in those two gentlemen is just amazing.
You are right, sir. Both those young individuals, I'm looking forward to their career in darts, let alone the next 5 years. Well, you may not be able to give a standout favorite, but is there anybody you're really looking forward to watching?
As the CEO of the company, it's tough for me to give you a favorite. I'm not going to do that because I truly meant what I said, that everybody does have the ability to hoist the cup at the end. That wasn't blowing sunshine. It's true. If I look at the matches, just to kind of see the Cameron Snook match is interesting. If they're both playing their best, I think that could be a banger of a match. Steve Warnock is a guy that kind of flies under the radar. He's got just a mountain of talent, but you don't hear him as a household name. He takes on Gary Mawson, past Continental Cup champion. Gary comes into these matches with a lot of pressure on himself. He knows he can win. He's won before. So it'd be interesting to see how he responds to that pressure and how much Steve can push him to the limit. And then, crowd favorite, I'm so happy that we see Stowe Bunce taking the stage. Stowe is a guy who's kind of toiled in the trenches for a while. He really found his groove this year. He's energetic. He plays to a crowd. I think that he could really bring some energy to the room. Anybody can win it, but certainly those are the guys that I'm looking forward to seeing. And how can you not say, Spellman or Taylor or any of the guys? I know that's not the answer you're looking for, but that's the best answer I can give you.
No, I think it's a great answer indeed, especially when your CEO is so confident in all these players. It speaks volumes for the growth of the tour and championship dart circuit in general. Any final thoughts before we bid you adieu, sir?
Hey, Will, they make us look good, right? All I got to do is sit at a desk and run a bracket and try to find sponsors, and that's the easy stuff. The hard stuff is what they do. I just want to reiterate, kind of what we talked about at the beginning. The progress we've made in the last 7 years is it's nothing short of astounding. To think of where we were and where we are now. We planted a flag in the ground when we started, and we said we wanted to see the next North American World Champion by 2022. Obviously, we're not going to get that. That was an aggressive goal. But if you see what we're turning out right now, there's nothing saying we can't see another North American World Champion, at some point in the next decade. And I believe that can happen. The other thing I want to say is, we're almost sold out of tickets, but there are still, I think, 7 remaining, if I remember correctly. So if you're out there and you're in New York and you want to come out to the Continental Cup on the 22nd in Woodside, go to champdarts.com, click the Continental Cup link, and you can purchase a ticket there. We'd love to see these things sell out. This is going to be a real big day for us, and we want you to be there to join us in the energy. It's going to be fantastic.
Touche to that one, sir. I would look forward to being there as well if I could make it, but instead I'm going to be watching from PDC TV. You can get a subscription if you want one. Grab it from pdc.tv today. Thanks for a moment of your time, Peter. We look forward to the Continental Cup on October 22nd.
Thanks for having me, Will. Always a pleasure. We'll talk to you soon.